Hey folks, what's going on? Good to be back with you. It's time to show some vinyl. What else is new, right? This vinyl I'm going to show you was, the last video I showed you some vinyl from a trip I took to LA. And that was just Amoeba. I also hit a few other stores while up there. And a few weeks later, there's some local shops. So this is this is a video of those two digs. So anyway, whatever, what the fuck, right? Let's just go on. First up is The Cure, Greatest Hits. I got this at a local store here in town. And ever since I joined this cover band that I'm in that does kind of 80s new wave stuff, we do a few songs from The Cure. I've kind of been nostalgic for their music ever since I joined the cover band. So that got me re-digging into their music, I guess you could say, and glad I did, because this is a real enjoyable greatest hits, I guess you could say, best of collection. This is what the label looks like on all of them. So there we go. Really well mixed collection. The sound quality is really good. It booms like crazy on this stereo. It sounds fantastic. A well remastered collection of their greatest hits. I really enjoyed the song list on this. This was a great find. Brand new record, so it was kind of expensive. I think it was like 28 bucks or almost 30. But it was worth it because I get a lot of enjoyment out of this. I really dig this album. So new wave fans, this is a good one to have. Next up, another 80s band, The Police, Ghost in the Machine. An album I did have already, but this is an exception because it is on the Nautilus Super Disc edition, and it does sound pretty badass. Pretty badass. Here's the original artwork that came with it. Not that impressive, but it does sound really good. I really dig the quality of the sound of the mix on here. Sounds great on stereo. This has always been one of my favorite Police albums. I have a lot of favorite Police albums, so to be honest with you, it's hard to say one of them is my ultimate favorite, but this one is really good. Spirits in the Material World, and Everything Says Magic, Invisible Sun, and those are the big songs on here, but this is a great album. Demolition Man is also on here. Really cool album, and great to have it more in an audiophile type pressing. Really dug that. Glad I brought that home. Now we're going to go with some 90s records. Pearl Jam, Vitology, as you can see. This is an original pressing, or so it advertises. This was reissued recently, or somewhat recently, but this is claiming to be an original pressing. And there's the gatefold there of that record. Really cool. It did come with the original book of lyrics, the lyric book. So, with all the very unique looking artwork on it. So, cool find there. I really dig when the albums come with these extra little things. So, shows they put a little care into it. So, really cool. And let me just slip this back in there. If it can go back in there, Jesus. All right. And of course, there's the inner sleeve. Very cool. And there is the album, Vitology from Pearl Jam. Better Man was probably my favorite song on here, as far as what was played on the radio anyway. It's a really good album. This is one I didn't buy back in the day. I think by then I was kind of grunged out. By the time this was originally released, I probably didn't jump on it. And what a shame that is, because this is actually a pretty good album. And well, at least I have it on vinyl now, so that makes me happy. So, Vitology from Pearl Jam. The 90s record collection is looking better and better with each dig, so real glad to have scored that. Back to the 80s, a soundtrack that everyone loves. Pretty in Pink. Okay, I didn't really like the movie all that much, but the music on here is really good. It's a good soundtrack. OMD's song is on here, If You Leave. I recently saw OMD in San Francisco on Friday over the weekend, and they put on a great show. They world premiered some of their new songs from the new album, The Punishment of Luxury, and a shit ton of their old songs, which sounded great. This is the Record Store Day release. It's on pink vinyl, so a really pretty looking album. So I don't have too many pink albums, got a few, but here's one more, right? And I always thought this was a cool soundtrack, and to have the Record Store Day release is pretty cool. It even has the original hype sticker on it, and these were hand numbered, and I got number 13, so pretty good score for me. So there we go. Like I said, an okay movie. I wouldn't say it was my favorite 80s movie, but the soundtrack was pretty good, and so still a good score. Alright, Rush, Hemispheres. This is the third pressing I have of this goddamn album. Well, I say that with love, of course. I love this album. It's a great album. Good 70s Rush, but it was one I felt I really didn't need because I had, you know, I had a really good domestic pressing of it. I had the Canadian pressing on red vinyl. Thought that was good enough, and then, so why buy this? Well, it came with the poster. And I didn't even know this came with a poster originally. It's not much of a poster, but it still looks cool. And here is the poster that comes with Hemispheres. And a good picture of each band member, as you can see there. So, pretty cool poster, I thought. And yeah, and hey, it comes with the album too. How about that? There we are with the custom label, 2 brains on it. Killer album, very classic Killer album, and like I said, I never knew that the original pressings came with a poster, and I was real excited to score that. So yeah, an original pressing of Rush Hemispheres with the poster. I'm a happy fanboy. This will make number 3, copy number 3 of Hemispheres. Really, how many do you need? Alright, speaking of original pressings with posters, I got another one. Prince, Controversy. I recently saw The Revolution in concert, also in San Francisco. And that was just an emotional show. An absolutely emotional show. When they played Purple Rain, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. It was just, oh my god, it was great. One of the best shows probably I've been to this year. That was such a fun show. But this original pressing came with the original poster. I can't say I'm too excited about the poster, but as the collector in me thought this is pretty cool to have. I can't say I'll be looking at this poster very much, because, well, what can I say, it's just not my cup of tea. But the collector in me said, hey, there's not too many of these around of original pressings. And when you find the poster in this good condition, and the album cover and the pressing of this album, very good condition. How do you say no? Excellent. This original pressing is in excellent shape, and the poster is in excellent shape. So that was a steal for me. I had to take it, and I'm a big fan of this album. Big fan of this album. This is one of my favorite Prince albums, so really glad to have scored it. And another original pressing of a Prince record, the self-titled Prince. Original pressing of this album as well. I Wanna Be Your Lover, obviously, is the big song on it. Now, of course, all these albums were reissued after Prince passed away, but I still like finding original copies, and this is an original copy. And it's an original copy that is in damn near excellent shape, just like Controversy. So I was real happy to score these albums. Big, 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 big addition to my Prince vinyl collection, which is still a modest collection, but when you put things like this in it, happy days, happy days. All right. A couple of 12-inch singles. I'll show them this real quick. Human League, Mirror Man. Great song, great 80s song. Always loved the song. What's great about this one, it's a super sound single, so it's a, I guess you could say an autofile pressing. Plays at 45 RPM. I always loved this song, and it's on the Virgin label. And we got, of course, the colored side, orange, green. Really, really cool album. Oh, well, song, I should say. And yeah, I spun this, and it sounds fantastic. I have the best of Human League, and it has it has that track on it, Mirror Man, and this sounds way, way better. Bought this for a couple bucks. I love the song, so I thought that's a steal. Another 12-inch single from the Psychedelic Furs, All That Money Wants. It's an okay song. I only got this for $1. And I've never seen this 12-inch single before, so I thought I'd give it a spin. It was supposed to come with the B-side songs were supposed to be Birdland and No Easy Street live version. Well, when I pulled out the record, it was a different story. Promo copy of the single, and it just has All That Money Wants on both sides. So, oh well, gotta live with it. It's a decent song. I wouldn't say it's a great song, but it's a decent song. Another favorite 80s band of mine, Psychedelic Furs. Saw them in concert last summer with the church. What a good show that was. Awesome show that was. So we're glad to score this. It was only $1. Why not? All right. And back to my trip to LA. I visited a store called Freak Beat Records in Sherman Oaks. It's one of my favorite stores, vinyl stores to visit while in LA. Some good stuff there. The first one up is a special release from Rush, Cygnus X1. I believe that's how you say it. I should have checked before turning this camera on, but I believe that's how you say it, but I could be wrong. This was a record store day release also, which I missed out on. In fact, there's a hype sticker. And basically it's a 12-inch single. And here's the insert that came with the album. One side is Cygnus X1, the other side is Hemispheres book 1, I believe. Or book 2, I should say. Anyway, here's custom label, same artwork that's on that insert I showed you. But really cool album. You know, it's just something special to have from the band. This was a record store day release only. And yeah, so side 1 is book 1, The Voyage. Side 2, book 2, Hemispheres, which is basically side 1 of the Hemispheres album. Really cool to have in the collection. I'm a big Rush fan, obviously, so stuff like this I think is really, really cool. So there we are. Record store day release from Rush. That was a big find for me, actually. Now this is a MoFi pressing. I didn't realize this album was on Mobile Fidelity. It is Tears for Fears, and it is The Seeds of Love. I did have an original pressing of this album already, which is on the Fontana label. I did not know there was a MoFi pressing of this. I really was not aware of that. And when I saw this, and I bought it used for I think $16, $17. And there's the gatefold. This sounds fantastic. Well, it's a MoFi pressing, so of course it's going to sound fantastic, right? But my God, this thing sounds amazing on my stereo. And the original pressing I had on the Fontana label sounded great too, but this one just blows it away. Really, really good pressing of this album. Wow, I just love this record. It's recorded and mixed so well. The music's so good on it. I still like Songs in the Big Chair more, but it's always a pleasure to spin this album. I love this album. And every time I spin it, I just fall in love with it. Like, oh, sounds so good. And to have a MoFi pressing of it is just heavenly, heavenly. All right, here's the 45s I pulled from Freak Beat, U2 Desire. from Rattler Hump, the album Rattler Hump. What I liked about this is it's a small gatefold. I've never seen it packaged like this before. And on the side pocket here is the record, and it's on the Island label. That's nothing special, but this packaging I thought was, and it was like $5, a little bit more than I would pay for a used 45, but because of this cool packaging, I thought, why not? Because I'm a big Simple Minds fan, I went ahead and got this one because it was in such good condition. Simple Minds, Promised You a Miracle. Great songs in their early years, or earlier years, I should say. Really good song, and it's on the A&M label, nothing special there. From The Who, You Better You Bet. I got the album that this is from, but I thought this 45 was in such great condition. You know, look at that picture sleeve is in such good condition, and the record looks good, so why not? There was a buck, go for it. Okay, the next three are Genesis 45s that I already had before, but these were in such great condition I couldn't leave them. On the shelf, and they're all Charisma label 45s, and that's hard to come by in such good condition. So the first one is Keep It Dark, and the B-side is the song Namanu, I believe it's how you pronounce it. It's an instrumental song. And like I said, it's on the Charisma label, the silver Charisma label. There we go. I love the way that looks. I think I had this one already, but I don't think it was on the Charisma label. This is a really good copy, in excellent condition. Someone took really good care of this. The next one is Mama. This will probably make the third or fourth one I have of these, and I also have two 12-inch singles of this song too. So, but again, on the Charisma label, and these look so good and in such good condition, and they didn't really cost that much. I think these were just $2 each. I didn't want to leave them because they just looked so good. And the last one is Abacab. On the B-side is another record. Again, it looks great. The cover's in excellent condition, and it is also on the Charisma label, and it has artwork from Duke. I don't know if you could see that there. All the Duke guys running on it, but it's not from the Duke album. It is Abacab. But really cool find. All three of them were really great finds, and I was real happy to score them. To find them in such good condition, I think was a big score for me. So those are my finds from the store called Freak Beat in Sherman Oaks. Let's see what we got. Last bag here. This is from a store called The Record Parlor. It's a good place to find used records. I usually find used 12-inch singles there. It's my favorite place to find 12-inch singles, actually. It's kind of how I use the store. And it's a guilty pleasure. It's where I get all my guilty pleasure stuff. Like this one from both the artists, Jan Hammer and Glenn Frey. It's the songs they contributed to the soundtrack to the TV show Miami Vice back in the 80s. This is a picture disc, as you can see. Well, I'll take it out of the plastic here. So there's the front of it, and there's the back. And the song from Jan Hammer is on this side, and it's, of course, the Miami Vice theme song. The B-side is a song from Glenn Frey. It's You Belong to the City, a song I always loved from Glenn Frey. Love the theme song from Jan Hammer as well. It's repeated twice on here because it's so short. But nice long version of You Belong to the City on the B-side from Glenn Frey. Great song. You Belong to the City is such a great song, so I was really happy to have found this rare picture disc. So, and it sounds pretty good for a picture disc, so glad to score that one. This was from Janet Jackson, or Janet. 12-inch single for the song That's the Way Love Goes. Cool, slow jam. My only complaint about this is there's so many different remixes of the song. The R&B 12-inch mix, the exotic club mix, the DJ FX dub, and the LP version. I listen to the LP version usually. All these other remixes, for some reason, they just don't do much for me, and especially when there's so many of them. But I always loved that song from Janet Jackson. I would love to score the album one day, but oh well. I have to deal with this until I find the actual album. This is a total guilty pleasure, but I do like this song. Kim Wilde, You Keep Me Hanging On, her big hits in the 80s. She was more bigger in the UK than she was here, but I always loved this song. And it has the extended version of the song and the 7-inch edit version of the song. It was $1, why not? MCA label, nothing special, but oh, this is guilty pleasure, but I love this song. Alright, and now my favorite album that came from the record parlor is from the Smithereens, Live at the Roxy, live album. This was actually a radio show, and it actually has the announcement from the MC. It has one radio commercial per side, and there's an interview segment done with one DJ with one of the band members telling the stories of the lyrics, and it's a real cool thing to listen to. The Roxy, the famous nightclub in Hollywood, California on the Sunset Strip, and it doesn't give me a date of the actual concert, at least I don't see it on here right away. So this had to come out in '86, I believe, but I don't know for sure. But especially for You was the album that they were promoting during this time. And some great songs on here: Blood and Roses, Time and Time Again, In a Lonely Place, Behind the Wall of Sleep. What a great live record, and the Smithereens were a great live band. I'm really sorry I never got to see them. They do still tour, so maybe I can see them one of these days. This is a great live record. It's a radio show record, intended for radio stations, not intended for sale, so that's what made it such a special find for me. It's on Special Forces Radio Concert, is what it says on the label. Really, really cool when you can find these record show albums, especially from a band you love so much. Oh, such a good find. I've spun this a couple of times. I just love this live record. Smithereens are such a cool band. Never really all that big around here. I guess they kind of were, but more for live music. I mean, the experience that you had to go to a live show, obviously, to see them. And maybe one of these days I'll actually catch the Smithereens live in person. But for now, I have this. Alright, that's going to do it. That is the haul from my local town and some stores in LA. Hope you guys liked it. Please leave some comments. Let's get some conversation going. It's always good to rap with you guys. Hope everyone's doing good out there, and I'll see you in the next video.